Hey guys, so we are going to start your coil project, and we are going to create a coiled toothbrush holder or a pencil holder. So as you saw how to create a long coil that's kind of small like this, what we're going to do is I'm going to start making the bottom of my holder, and I'm going to take my small coil, and just like before, I'm going to take my needle tool and I'm going to start scoring this to create my spiral coil that will be at the base. So I'm just going to wet that a little bit. I'm also going to turn this over and score the other side as well. And then I'm going to just start to turn this coil inwards like this. My clay is cracking just a little bit, so I'm going to add just a little bit of water. And I'm going to just slowly spiral this clay around each other. I'm going to add just a little bit of water here and there. As you can see, I already scored this bottom part right here, so I'm just going to continue to coil or to create my spiral just like this. And I need to score just a little bit more, so I'm gonna take my needle tool and score a little bit and add some water. Keep just bringing that clay around until I have my base just kind of like that. Alright, I am gonna add like a little bit more to this, so I will be right back, or actually I'll show you that right now. What you're gonna do if you need to attach another piece of clay, all you do is score the ends that you're going to attach just like this and just add some water. And then I'm also going to score down here where this is going to lay across just like this. I want to make my base just a little bit bigger, just like that. I'm going to add my water again, bring this around, and kind of start just like that. I'm also going to take my paintbrush and come in here and smooth some of these lines out so it doesn't look as rough. And I'm going to take my sponge and kind of clear off some of that water. Alright, so there is your base right there. Alright, so we have our base here, and our base is about it's a little over 2 inches, but I would aim for about a 2-inch diameter base in order to start your pencil slash toothbrush holder. Now from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start building up. Alright, so I'm going to start out with just a long coil just like this. Alright, all I'm gonna do is I'm just going to, you can take your finishing tool or your needle tool, and I'm gonna take my finishing tool with the knife side, and I'm gonna start to score the edge of my base because this is where my coil is going to lay. And like I said, you in class you want to go one way and then turn and go the other. And so then I'm going to take this coil and I'm going to score one way, one direction, and then score a different direction, just like this. I'm then going to take my container of water and I'm going to add some water to not only my base but also my long coil, and then I'm going to attach my coil just like this. And as you can see, it loops back around. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to now score and wet the top part of this coil, going in different directions. Once again, add just a little bit more water, and I'm going to continue my coil around just like that. Okay? Now for in the inside, what I'm going to do is you can either take, you could take your finger and kind of like try to smooth this clay out a little bit with some water. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my wooden knife, I'm going to dip it in the water, and I'm going to begin to push that clay together just like this, and then kind of smooth it out a little bit. This is going to secure your coils. You can also do it on this side. This is going to secure your coils into the base, keeping them from coming apart whenever your project dries. Just gonna smooth those out, as you can see. Just like that. And then I'm gonna take my finger and kind of go around and try to kind of smooth that out a little bit, just like that. You can also take your sponge and kind of smooth that out with your sponge as well. Just don't leave a lot of excess water into your pot, because then it'll soak right into the clay and make your clay body really super fragile. So that's what I have so far. So, and this is what the outside of it looks like. It looks a little bit messy. It's okay, we'll clean it up later. Right now though, I'm going to take my fold, and I am going to attach that as well, because I want a different type of coil on here. You do need to use at least 2 different types of coils in your project. And then I scored the bottom of this because this is going to sit right here. It's going to sit right there. So I scored this area, and I put water on both, and so I'm just going to attach them just like this. And it's a little bit like kind of coming off a little bit, so it's okay to just take your wooden knife or even your finishing tool with that curved side and start to kind of blend that clay together where those two meet. So just something like this. And then that's what it looks like on the outside. Once again, it's kind of messy. We'll clean that up later. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add a fold the whole way around, and I will be back in a moment. Hey guys, just another tip whenever you guys are putting this project together. Whenever you are attaching 2 types of coils that are going to be side by side like this, you need to make sure that you score this area that this coil is going to be attaching to, and you also need to score the coil as well. Add some water to both sides, and just like this, you attach it on there just like so. Okay, if you need to, take your wooden knife on the inside and dip it in some water and kind of push that clay together a little bit, just like this. So now I have my fold that goes the whole way around. I'm now going to add on layers of this small thin coil, and I'm just going to keep adding those on until I have the height that I want. So I'm going to add those on and I'll be right back. So I have attached my long coils on top of my folds, and now what I'm going to do is pretty much finish up my piece. At this point, what you want to do is take your sponge with some water and just start to kind of lightly go over your piece a little bit. If there's any spots that kind of need fixing and kind of smoothed out, I'm gonna smooth out like these ends of my coils right here a little bit. There we go. Another thing that you can do is within your folds, you can take your finishing tool and go into those cracks and really define those areas. Mine needs a little bit more work with like smoothing it out. But any of these places where you see score marks from your needle tool or your finishing tool, I would just take your end of your finishing tool that has the little hook on it and just go in there and kind of clean up those spots a little bit. After that, I would take your paintbrush and just go in there, add a little bit of water, and that's all. Just like that. The last thing you're going to do is on the bottom, you are going to sign it. So find like, either put your initials. I'm just going to put a B for my last name, but put your initials on it, something like that. As you can see the inside, I took my wooden knife too and smoothed over some of those coils. I can take my sponge in there and kind of smooth it out. But near the end of this process, what you want to do is just completely smooth out any cracks you see. Get rid of like things like this, like these little score marks. Like I said, take your finishing tool, go in, clean those out, make those look really nice. These are the aspects that you want to kind of pay attention to whenever you're getting ready to put your piece in the back. Because once you let your piece dry out, there's pretty much no turning back. So you want to just make sure that you have it clean and ready to go. So, like I said, a little sponge, a little water, your finishing tool, and you'll be all good to go.